Good evening, everyone. It's Shamila Ramjawan coming to you from the Red Corner Chat. And this evening we have a strategist, change maker, businesswoman, Janet Pillai, who is the founder of MLT Corporation, Group Development, Dent Magic Holdings. We want to hear all about that magic name, Janet, and who's also the co-founder of Women Own Network. Good evening. How are you?
Hi, Shamila. I have no complaints. The sun is shining in Cape Town. I spent the afternoon at a meeting near the beach. What does a girl have to complain about? So I'm very happy. Thank you.
Yes, you're just rubbing it in because I'm here in Johannesburg.
I know. There's no beach there. But I'm also tempting you to come visit me in Cape Town, hey?
Most definitely.
Pretty soon.
Yes. Most definitely. We're going to have that lunch at the waterfront.
Oh, the best spot in Cape Town, really.
Yes, for sure.
So thank you for that warm welcome and introduction, Shamila. I'm very happy to be hosted on the Red Corner Chat today. As you can see, I dressed up for you because I don't have a red corner like you do. I decided to dress up in red and wear my brightest red lipstick so that you know that I'm in your corner.
Absolutely stunning. Janet, we're going to get right into it. So do you maybe just want to tell everybody who is Janet Pillai?
Wow. You know, they say it's always difficult to talk about yourself. So I'm going to try and give it a go. I've been the founder and CEO of MLT now for 18 years. Now, whenever I say 18 years, I think, how am I going to subtract that from the years that I've been subtracting from my age? Well, this year is definitely, I'm taking a year off. But it seems like a long time. We really were a two-car startup. We're a very, very simple, humble beginnings kind of company. And we've grown exponentially over the years and, you know, expanded into different aspects of the vehicle rental business, also added shuttles, leasing, rent-to-owns, and mini leases, and a whole lot of other products. I think I do define myself a lot by my work because I put so much energy into it. You know, I don't have little mini-me's running around, so my business is my baby. And just before lockdown, I made an acquisition in the ABR, in the auto body repair space. I've worked usually like with vehicle rental, you know, and cars in a very male-dominated space. So this was a sort of hop, skip, and a jump to continue the value chain in the auto body repair space. It was a BE empowerment deal, and I'm very happy to say that it's a new area for me. But I'm also learning a tremendous amount, and now my people who do my repair work can't bullshit me so badly because I understand a little bit about what it costs to repair a panel, what needs to be repaired, what doesn't need to be repaired. And I think, you know, being in business for so long, I've started from the ground up. So I've delivered cars at 2 a.m. in the morning and collected cars, and I know how many gear changes it takes to go to the airport. And I think that when you run your business that way, it becomes very difficult for people to actually pull the wool over your eyes. We have a very effective and busy team, but it's a team that's been handpicked over the years and have been with me. Some people have been with me for more than a decade. And I think that's what actually makes the difference is when you keep the intellectual capital in the business and, you know, try to grow with the people that are in your team. So that's a little bit about me and MLT and Dent Magic.
That's wonderful. And family? What about family?
Well, I'm the last Lamaki, you know, I'm the last of 6 children. There's a 7-year age gap between my brother and I, so I was definitely conceived in a moment of passion. I'm a love child.
I would
and my mom
assume everybody's conceived in a moment of passion. Like
no, mine was extra special. Mine was extra special. So my mom was 36 and my dad was 42 when I was born, which in that time was, you know, not a fashionable age to be having a baby. I'm so glad to have siblings that are much older than me. So glad to have siblings that are much older because I've, you know, had a lot of guidance and support over the years and the benefit of having much older friends. So basically, I love my mixed circle of friends because what it means is that I get to learn from mentors and to mentor. So yeah, we are 4 girls and 2 boys, and so it's a nice, happy bunch of people. Big families are my passion.
And do you hail from Cape Town or from another province?
No, I'm a Chatsworth girl. I was born in Durban, and you know, when we moved to the property, my parents had bought, and my siblings were all raised in an area in Durban called Asherville. And when they moved to Chatsworth, there was no real Chatsworth, if I could say it that way. We used to direct people. We'd say, do you know that big gum tree as you come off Higginson Highway? Well, when you see that gum tree, just follow the gum tree and you'll get to our house. And it was lots of fun because we didn't even have an address. We used our neighbor's address. It was 542 Falcon Street. So there was a good excuse to run to the neighbor and collect the mail because all our mail came there. And then, you know, it was very exciting to play in the trenches whilst Chatsworth was being built around us. And then my dad was the first ever police commissioner at the Chatsworth police station. So whenever there was anything happening, our house was always full of people. Diwalis and Eid and Christmas were big celebrations. And we got invited to a lot of things. So my mom was a social butterfly. And it's something that I do love even to this day is socializing and entertaining. So
Lovely.
Great to have you from that part of the world.
So why Cape Town?
You know, Shamila, I came to Cape Town with my parents on a train when I was 5 years old. It felt like traveling for a whole month, but it was actually only 3 days. And what was so great is that I got to see the countryside. And when we got here, it was so much fun. I don't even remember where we stayed or who we stayed with, but we were with my dad's friends. And the thing that struck me is that when I was leaving, I think I had 10 or 12 friends, all in a line with little gifts of dried fruit and hankies and little mementos to say goodbye to me. I tell you, we drove back to Durban, and by the time we got to Durban, my eyes were this big from crying. And I had a temperature because I missed my friends so much, and my mom was so worried that I was going to get ill because of separation anxiety. But the hospitality, the warmth in Cape Town is really phenomenal. So I've wanted to come back to Cape Town ever since then. I wanted to come and study in Cape Town, but it wasn't possible. And so when I applied for a position after having made that whole coastal migration from Durban to the Eastern Cape, I do feel that I'm in my spiritual home in Cape Town. I'm very happy, beautiful city, 10 things to do in a day, lots of good friends and lots of corners of the city and the province to explore. And yeah, I just feel blessed to be here.
It is one of the most beautiful provinces anyway, I must add.
It's so cosmopolitan. You know, if you, like you were talking about lunch at the waterfront, when you're on the waterfront, you could actually hear so many different accents, so many different languages. And I love the cosmopolitan look and feel of Cape Town. And you can have completely different experiences just by driving a couple of kilometers, you know. And when I moved here from the Eastern Cape, working for government, you get allocated what is called a Christmas car. Basically, it's a car allowance. And so me being me, having gotten my license on an automatic, I decided to buy myself a manual vehicle. I got stuck many times. I got terribly lost. People would say, you know, Cape Town people say, and I'm now one of those people, just follow the mountain and you'll find me. But I got so lost. I remember ending up on the other side of the Overberg, not near Table Mountain, at about 9 o'clock at night, because a friend had invited me for dinner because I was new in the city. And I ended up in the Worcester Mountains, not in Table Mountain. So I know my city like the back of my hand now from getting lost such a lot. And all our steep and narrow roads I enjoy because now I can navigate them. I decided I want to choose my battles in life. I'll drive an automatic. I don't want to struggle with a manual. But it actually was great because it taught me my city.
Lovely. So Janet, what do you do for fun? Because, you know, we're just going to move away from business for a bit. What do you do for fun? Because, I mean, Cape Town's got all the attractions. They've got the wine routes. They've got, you could just have a nice Sunday lunch somewhere with the lovely fish and prawns. What do you do for fun?
There are so many things you can do for fun in Cape Town. I usually plan my weekend by Tuesday because I need something to be excited about to see me through the week. I love to have friends over. Well, this is now pre-COVID. But I think that the thing that defines us is that we're adventurers. We look for the next place to go. One tends to, in Cape Town, go to a lot of events. So if there's an exhibition opening, if there's a new piece of theater on the circuit, if there's a new film that's premiering, I tend to go to all of those things. I just love it. I get my second wind after my work day. Then I look for something fun to do. So whatever it is. And then, of course, there's the winelands, there's the wine tasting, there's all the lovely trails and the walks and just beautiful vistas, you know. When you step out of home, then you see mountains, sunset, the beach, just so much to enjoy. So, yeah, I think in Cape Town, you can't help but have a good work-life balance because friends ask you, so are you going to that or this? And have you eaten at that restaurant? So you tend to socialize quite a bit. There's no, you know, locking yourself in at home after you come back from work. There's always something fun to do.
I am so jealous. I'm absolutely jealous because I know, you know, when I come down to Cape Town, I feel so safe there compared to Johannesburg. And I love, you know, I can find my way around quite easily. So yeah, I'm very jealous, but I will be visiting you very soon. Just going back to business. Yes, definitely. So going back to business, what are the major challenges? You know, we want to empower other people and mainly the startups starting up new businesses. What sort of challenges did you experience when you started up your business or you went into business? And I mean, you're in a male-dominated sort of business as well. So I'm sure there are lots of challenges you face and overcome. Do you maybe want to just tell us a little bit about that?
I think there's a lot of barriers to entry for women in our sector. The first thing that I did was seek out other women who were working in the sector. So whether it was a dealership, a repair center, an advisor, a service manager, I chose to work with the women in my sector. And I think that's important because what happens is that you build a good collateral and a good sort of little army of women who think like you do. I think from the point of view of access to opportunity, you know, I've always operated in a very positive way. I do it until I can't do it, if you know what I'm saying. I don't say I'm not going to. I just take the chance and I take a leap of faith and I do it. And sometimes it's gotten me into trouble, but not big trouble, you know, not trouble that wasn't unwelcome. I think there's always a lesson as you go along. And I think that perseverance is really important to keep a work-life balance, to have the energy to be able to continue to do what you do and not to ever let go. You know, the moment you let go and you let go of your dream or your passion or your drive, then you've given up on yourself. And there's enough people out there who are willing to give up on you. I think you must never give up on yourself. You must continue to believe in what it is that you want and just keep striving. And whilst you strive, and that sounds very philosophical, but whilst you strive, always have a strategy, always have a business plan, your marketing plan, all the basic things that actually make a business. You know, if something's not working, if someone's not collaborating in the way that you think they should, then move on. You know, I always say to people, move. You're not a tree. You can just move from where you are. You're not stuck. Change things to suit your benefit. I think it's important to get unstuck every so often and move outside of your comfort zone, because if you don't, then you never ever make change happen. So just an openness, a willingness to collaborate, and especially in a COVID economy, I think it's so important to collaborate with others, because it's pointless to reinvent the wheel and start from scratch when there are others who are doing good work that you can actually, how can I say, collaborate with, engage with, partner with, consult with. Instead of trying to recreate, you don't need to do everything on your own. It's not necessary. There's huge opportunity, huge resource, amazing expertise out there. You really don't need to do everything on your own. It's pointless, actually.
Yes, I think it's so important to collaborate and just tap into other people's skills as well. Like you said, just don't recreate or reinvent the wheel. And I think it all boils down to perseverance, because once you have that solid foundation, like you mentioned, the business plan and strat plan, you have that solid foundation. Now you need to build on it. So never give up and just follow your passion, your dreams, and just, elevate yourself. I think those are key
And
words.
I talk about socializing, but it's also about networking, because if you can make sure that you are visible, that you're out there, that you're seen at the events, that you contribute to the thought capital that's going around in your industry, if you're an opinion leader, if you can, offer some advice on an aspect of your industry, I think it's important to have your voice heard, because there's a lot of contributions that you can make. A lot of lessons that you might have learned that you can share with others, so that people also feel, oh, I so identify with that. Oh, I know exactly what you're speaking about. Oh, yes, I recognize how deals are made over beer and golf. It's so easy for men to do that. But what is the other way that we can actually engage? And that's why I like working with women, because whether it's a high tea or a coffee or a walk along the beach or a spa date, keep those influences and those change makers close to you. And always, no matter what stage of your career you're at, I might have been in business for 18 years. I can always learn from the people around me, because there's expertise. I don't carry all of the expertise. So it's about keeping an open mind, working with the people around you that can add value, and taking your team along as you walk the business journey. I think that's key critical as well.
So you, the co-founder of Women Own Network, that actually, it just sort of bundles the whole sort of collaborative efforts and networking and just getting women together, the sisterhood. Do you maybe want to tell me how that came about?
So as you can see, I have a pre-COVID baby glow, and that COVID baby was Women's Own. I'm a creative at heart, Shamila. I'm actually trained in the arts. Transport is a completely different sector for me. And the wonderful thing during COVID is that everything became quiet. And there wasn't that moving parts 24/7, because my business is a 24/7 operation. Suddenly everything was still. And in that stillness, I said, oh my goodness, this is so phenomenal, because I could actually think after a long time. There wasn't so much operations happening. I could think, I could innovate, I could creatively conceptualize. And that's exactly how Women's Own was born. I consulted a couple of women who are in media and in other PR and media related industries. And then, like I do with most things, I wrote a proposal. I said, firstly, I approached an SABC radio station, and I said, would you be interested in content relating to women? And they said, well, that sounds interesting. And I actually approached Salma Patel, who is, as you know, a phenomenal woman on her own. And she just gave me the slot, without even thinking twice. She said, this makes so much sense. It's relevant, it's important, it's an important message that's going out. And so we had our first 4-week pilot and a 1-hour show on Salma's slot, which was phenomenal. And what happened is that women started, and as you know from the Red Corner chat, it aggregates as you go along. More and more people become interested. They want to tell their stories. And like when you started the show, you said, tell me about you. I think often women have difficulty articulating their story. They don't always quantify the tremendous gravitas and value add that they might have brought to their industry. Yes. So what we actually do is help women to articulate and create the narrative around their own business journey. And again, within that context, provide mentoring and support, business development, play an advisory role, and provide the media and public relations support that goes with it. So, helping women to find their voice and create their narrative, that's what Women's Own does. So it is in its infancy. And as we unpack what it is that we do, I think it starts to take more and more shape and form. And I'm very happy to say that we will have a Durban and a Johannesburg address for Women's Own very, very soon. Cape Town is nice and up and running, and we've been doing things from here remotely. But I have a very good feeling about where we're going, because people really, women especially, really feel that it resonates with them. The story resonates, you know, the need for a voice and a space. I mean, you've got your wonderful space, which is a Red Corner, and this is a multi-channel digital platform. There's a website, and women can engage and really, you know, seek out services and support across the board, across sectors. So we've just been, for now, profiling stories. We've been asked to do some commercial proposals, which we've done. And it's not a commercial enterprise right now, but it's a space and a corner pretty much like yours, but a corner that is global, that is accessible, and that is there for women to engage with. So that's Women's Own.
It sounds great. So how does one get hold of you? Or are you on, I know you're on Facebook, but other social media platforms?
So there's Facebook, Twitter, and Insta, and there's also a website. So you can just search Women's Own on Facebook and find us, and then you'll find the link to the website, or just send me an email, which is won@mltcorp.co.za, and it's a catch-all, and one of 4 or 5 women will pick it up and then be able to respond promptly.
I wish you all the best with that. It sounds really close to my heart, you know, women empowerment. So I'm looking forward to seeing more coming out of that platform or that organization per se. And yeah, let's see how we can collaborate. Maybe we can do something together as well.
I'm so looking forward to that, Shamila. We're looking forward to being able to migrate these Red Corner chats to the portal as well. And I think that's going to have great value, because it's going to become a repository for all your recorded interviews, and it's a reference point if somebody needs a resource person, if they need a global link, as your Red Corner has been, then that's a logistical address for them to go to. So we're very, very excited about the collaboration with you as well.
Wonderful. Looking forward to it, Janet. Thank you so much for that. You know, every day there's something new, and I'm so excited about it, because, you know, I always say, us women, that I would say we like energized bunnies. You know, every day we feel that we're not doing enough. So there's that one puzzle piece that's always missing, and we just want to do more and more and more, and we're just not fulfilled. I don't know if you feel the same way that I do.
I think we have an excitable energy. I don't think we're unfulfilled. I think we're very, very fulfilled, because we achieve a lot in a day. But we're just the kind of women who look for the next, you know. I was so excited when my bank said, "What's your next?" Standard Bank, "What's your next?" And I was like, yay, you know, you're finally talking my language. But we look for the next. And that's a sign of people who are motivated. So I think that we're highly motivated, we're driven, and that's a fabulous energy to tap into, because it means that we never become stagnant. We don't become trees. We're constantly moving, we're evolving, we're embracing change, and that is such a positive thing. So I think we must just embrace it, Shamila. I think it's there for us to embrace.
Yes, absolutely. But I think we also need to take care of our health. And I'll give you an example. So today I was invited by Brand South Africa to do the board game challenge. I spent 4 hours there. I'm not sure if you saw it on social media, but if you go to Brand South Africa page, you'll actually see.
I'm going to go look for it.
Please go and look. I also shared a link on my page. Go and have a look at the game. It was amazing. We had so much fun in the studio. Then I had to rush back, and I had a 2-hour meeting with UNISA, because I'm a lecturer there. And that went off. And then I had to get ready for my chat, which started at 5. And I'm going right up to 8 o'clock now. So, you know, a lot of people would not even realize how much you can actually do in a day. And it doesn't end at 8 o'clock, because I still have to do other stuff that I need to prepare for tomorrow, and stuff, you know, answering emails from today, and a whole lot of other things. But just going, I just want to start talking about myself. Your day, or should I say, what do you actually do to keep mentally sane?
That's a borderline question, but anyway, I think I divide my day into bite-sized chunks. That's the best way for me to manage it. So I usually do social media early in the morning. And, I say this to people because a couple of years ago, I wanted to have a program for myself. And I said to my niece who's in HR, will you draw a program for me? And she said, yeah, sure. We went for coffee. She drew it and she gave it to me. And I start and end my day with meditation because it is the bookends of my day. If I don't do my morning meditation, I feel sort of like I've missed out on something. And my evening meditation is actually to wind down and to stop thinking. And it's phenomenal because before my meditation, my guided meditations, even halfway through, I'm fast asleep. And I'm somebody who struggled with being able to keep that balance and sleep on time for many, many years. It comes from the days when I was a student and I would push a 13-hour study sort of schedule because I had papers one after the other. And running a 24-hour operation, you sort of alert because, maybe there's a client who wasn't picked up on time or someone stuck at the airport or your vehicle was in an accident or whatever it is. But now I must say that actually helps me to just switch off. And the bite-sized chunks are great because I divide my day literally into 3 because there's MLT, there's Dent Magic, and there's Women's Own. So in order for me to keep that balance and stay sane, and Shamila, you have kids, I don't. So if I had kids, I'd probably divide it into a 4th quarter because I had to. And because it's now 3 pieces, I think that my work gets a lot of my time. But I also like the evening drives and going to the movies and going for a walk on the beach because it's a reward that I give to myself. My fun is my reward that I give to myself. And I think, it's important. I'm not a Netflix junkie, so I don't ever switch on the TV at home unless there's something specific I'm watching. So I don't spend my evenings that way. But I like spending time on the telephone, so whether it's on WhatsApp with friends or on social media catching up, and as you know, I write a daily blog, or just spending time with friends, I think is so re-energizing because you can just be yourself, whether it's that friend, and I have one friend who will spoil me, who'll cook for me, I have another friend who will just chat to me, another friend that you yourself have to spoil, but just keeping that diverse group of friends. I have a very, very cosmopolitan mix of friends. And I love that because what it means is that you don't see a reflection of you. I like the difference. I like the fact that people are different from me, a little bit crazy, a little bit wild, a little bit conservative. It's all good because it talks to different aspects of you. So keeping the work-life balance, keeping your circle wide, making sure that you have something to look forward to, I think actually helps me to keep sane. So tomorrow, for instance, we busy packing a picnic now and prepping stuff because we're going to leave early in the morning, catch the sunrise along the way. We're going to buy Fynbos honey from a female beekeeper in Pringle Bay. We're going to picnic on the beach a little bit, play in Pringle Bay, and then head back to Cape Town. So for me, knowing that there's a reward of some kind for all the hard work that I do, that there's some kind of stress reliever, that there's an outlet, I think makes a big difference, so that you're not constantly working. And you do it. I mean, Thrivers looked like so much fun, Shamila. It looked like so much fun, so much drama. I just love it. And so, we all have our outlets. Like you talked about the game. I think it's important to have that. We have game nights. Well, now I'm talking pre-COVID, but we'd have dance night, we'd have game night. They call us the Guptas because we're always cheating at Monopoly. But a friend of mine has one of those revolving disco balls and the music just never stops. And we just dance and dance until your hair is wet and your clothes are wet. And it's so much fun to just let your hair down and socialize and do fun things, I think it's great.
I'm just nodding my head. I'm going to move down to Cape Town because I want to get into that life.
That's the whole idea. Why do you think we're chatting? They say all the pretty girls belong in Cape Town, so you're geographically misplaced, my dear. You need to move. You need to move.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I think at some point we have to unwind. And for me, I'm doing so much at the moment because, I'm studying, I've got a job, I've got a business, I've got the Red Corner Chat, I've got a family. Then I've got to slot in my exercising and meditation, and there's just numerous things. But I love that you have that balance. I'm still trying to find that balance because I'm still trying to find myself as to where I want to be and what I want to do. So I don't know when if I will ever get to that point, but I'm hoping that after my doctorate, next year, I should actually be able to have, a fair amount of free time. So yeah, definitely you're going to see me quite often in Cape Town because we're going to party like crazy.
And then the shopping, all the factory shops are in Cape Town. So for every brand, there's a Cape Town, there's Diesel, there's Polo, there's the work. So you just have to land here and then we'll go, because retail therapy, I strongly believe in.
Absolutely.
When I lived in the Eastern Cape and, the shops were few and far between. So if you want to go to a mall, you got to drive 2 hours either way. Then I would take my friends' grocery lists and buy porridge and soap and get excited. So I get excited about shopping anyway. So you must come soon for the phenomenal shopping in Cape Town. All your boutiques, all your factory shops, you'll have loads of fun.
Well, when I go shopping, if I go into a shop, especially a clothing shop, I'm like a kid in a candy store because you can't even distract me. It's like I'm a different person.
Yeah, I shop, and now with online, I'm just going to bring some light into the room. With online shopping, you tick, and you only realize after you check out, oh my goodness, I've spent a lot of money. I think for me, one of the highlights of during COVID was receiving my package from Shane online, because I placed that order in Feb and it comes from the US. Then it goes to Johannesburg and then it gets dispatched from there. So I placed the order in Feb, and in April, in the middle of lockdown, this arrived, this package of like 13 different outfits. I was so excited. So during lockdown, I swiped quite a bit because I discovered the guy who delivers avocado pears and the company that delivers roasted cashews and my little ginger shots and turmeric shots. So it was great. The doorbell just rang all the time. I was so excited.
Getting visitors.
People. So it's a different kind of retail therapy. And I went to the mall recently for the first time since lockdown. I left home saying, I'm going to go and sort out my new phone because I needed to do a couple of things, get my emails on. Anyway, 5 hours later, I came back home after sorting out my phone, but I made a lot of stops in between. A lot of stops in between.
You sound just like me, Janet. But COVID has come now and taught me so much, because I have cupboards full of clothing and shoes and bags and whatever, and we haven't used it for 6 months. And I just feel that you tend to actually wind down and think, is it necessary? Do we need all of this? Because if I have to tell you I have close to 400 dresses, you wouldn't believe me. But I do.
Oh my goodness. No, I believe you, because I have 2 rooms of clothes, my room and the room next to me.
No, it's crazy.
So I think...
Yeah, when do we actually use that? When am I going to use all this? In another 2 years, maybe? And then we just buy more and we hoard, but we give away a lot as well. So
I think we're similar in that way. If I haven't worn something for 6 months, then I recycle it. I give it to a friend. So if you said to me, oh, Janet, I love that, then I will just give it to you.
Oh, I'm going to visit you.
I think that's how we are. But I agree. COVID has forced us to audit everything that we have. Do we really need it? Is it necessary? And what I usually do when I plan at least my next 2 days is I will lay out my outfit, match the bag, the shoe, the accessories. So I reorganized my wardrobes during COVID because I had the time to. And then I did winter, summer, and I started watching Trini Woodall. Trini, it's called Closet Confessions.
Yes.
And I thought to myself, I actually don't have such a big problem because this woman's wardrobe is all over her house. It's every room. She's got like 10 pink jackets, 5 different kinds of leopard skin jackets and gilets and clothes and what have you. And then I just felt better about it. I didn't feel so bad.
Janet, it was so good talking to you. But before we go, you belong to, or you're a member of a lot of organizations. You've received lots of nominations and awards and recognition. Do you maybe just want to tell me, take me through that and what stands out for you?
I think when I think of all the accolades, Shamila, the thing that is the closest to my heart is the King Chavez Parks visiting scholarship, because it for me was the most creative time in my life. I got to travel an exhibition from South Africa to talk about it in the US and in Canada. I was a visiting fellow. I took an exhibition of art from the Liberation Archives, and I did a comparative analysis with the civil rights movement in the US. And to be awarded a scholarship that is named after Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and Chavez is just a huge accolade. I think in all of my academic work, it is the international travel and the ability to be able to travel and speak globally that stands out for me the most. My time at the Smithsonian, oh my God, is like, night at the museum, but on steroids. And I did get locked up in the museum one night, I must tell you. I forgot what time it was, and I'm that kind of person. If I'm, really into something, I forget. And then the guard had to escort me through all the sort of underground walkways at the very bottom of the museum. And we walked and walked and walked, and he was such a kind man. And eventually he opened this sort of outside door, and I walked up the stairs, and suddenly I was, in the underground, ready to take a train. So lots of fun. I think the travels have been really, really wonderful. I've been really blessed to have that, to be able to travel and have your expenses paid for and discover new vistas. I think it's not just the accolade, it's the life experience that comes with it, to be able to engage with people across cultures, to have those memories to look back on. And, it comes as part of a career that is active, where people want to hear what you have to say. It is one of the things that I miss in my business, is not being able to travel in that kind of way. But now you can pay for your own holidays and go on travels much easier because you have your own income. But I think those were the two things that stood out, was the King Chavez Parks visiting professorship and the Smithsonian Fellowship were really the two things that I truly hold dear.
Lovely, congratulations. Just your last words, Janet. Tomorrow's Heritage Day. Very quickly, what is your message out there to everyone?
I think, we're in a very strange time in our country. Sometimes I don't recognize it. Sometimes it feels like a nightmare because there are so many changes. There are so many negative energies out there, so many issues. Clicks, and the Bunny Chow ad, that said prevent heartburn, and the picture of the Bunny Chow. But we're not going to go and burn down any stores. I think it's a time for tolerance and understanding. We had it at the beginning of liberation, and somehow it seems to be waning. I think it's so important for people to use tomorrow to think and reassess and ask yourself the question, who am I in the context of South Africa as a country? Let me exercise understanding and tolerance and acceptance and a willingness to actually learn about each other. When I fell in love with Roger, it was the thing that actually made the relationship so special, because he said to me, 2 weeks after we met, I had to fly to Durban because it was Diwali. And he started asking me, tell me about your culture. Explain to me why you do this. So even now when we pray at home, even though we're not the same religion, there's an understanding. He will rush out and he will get the fruit and the flowers and he will fast even though he doesn't have to. And for me, it's so endearing because it's a sign that somebody has the maturity to coexist in a cultural context that might not necessarily be their own, but a tolerance and understanding of what it means, you know, to be from a different culture. So as we approach Heritage Day, I think it's time for us to press the reset button. I think we need to exercise some tolerance, some caution as we approach other cultures in our country. We've come so far. And sometimes it feels like we've taken 20 steps forward and 200 steps back. So just be quiet and reassess. You know, there are bigger challenges out there, COVID, economic slump. We're going to see the effects more and more. Joblessness, our unemployment rate is so high. We need to embrace our heritage, just celebrate who we are, you know, embrace it, dress up, go to do the traditional things and enjoy and really think about where we are in context as a country. It's really important right now. It's a conversation we had more than a decade ago, and now we're back having the same conversations. It seems a little bit premature. It seems like we've gone a couple of steps backwards. So it's time to actually just say, really, what is all the fuss about? Can we just coexist comfortably and amicably? Because we have a country to build. There are bigger challenges than sweating the small stuff. So that's my message.
Love it. I wish you everything of the best for tomorrow and enjoy your outing. I'm very jealous because I'm going to be sitting studying because I've got a portfolio that's due. But all the best. Thank you for coming on the chat. And we're definitely going to connect outside of this chat. So take care. And
wonderful, Shamila. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to engage with you. I think it's so special that you've created this Red Corner chat. It's given so many women a voice and opportunity to engage and an upliftment that they wouldn't normally have. We're so looking forward to hosting you in Cape Town. You can light up the sky on our side of the world. And I wish you all the best with the studies and all your projects. I know you've got so many things that you're juggling. So I wish you strength and courage, and I wish you lots and lots of energy as you unravel all of these wonderful things that you're involved in.
thank you so much. Take care and God bless.